In search of a financial opportunity to pay off student loans, a young Black American woman moves to South Korea to work. As the author, Bootsy W. recalls culture shock and fun adventures in a country far from home. She's also faced with anti-Black racism and featureism, quickly learning that white supremacy is practiced not only by whites, but by those that are categorized as people of color. Based on her 10 years of living abroad, the book, Ago Igo, compares and contrasts Korea versus the United States on subjects such as code, communal living, racism, effective protests, global alliances, warrior class, music, political correctness, health, aging, money, and the coronavirus. This blunt memoir is uncomfortable, humorous, and educational. Help fight propaganda and mainstream agendas by picking up a copy of Ago Igo on Amazon.com. In a lot of red states right now, they're trying to literally rewrite history and erase their American history. I don't understand that why American history is trying to be erased. It is a big effort to do something that they're actually going to fail miserably at. But as we have been seeing in a lot of red states, we start putting up these lists of articles. So you look at the first one here, Tennessee passes bill that withholds funds from school teaching about systemic racism. The next one, a House divided, Tennessee legislative chamber split on bill banning classroom discussion of systemic racism. On this next one, there is not systemic racism, says a governor who's named April as Confederate Heritage Month. The next one, this Mad River school officials dispute systemic racism is real. Now, a lot of people response in our community would be, of course, disgust. Some people would be outraged. But let's not go there in this conversation. Let's talk about what they're really trying to do. Sometimes you have to listen to what they're saying to reveal what's really in their hearts, right? Even the scriptures teach out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So the indicator was in somebody's heart is what they're saying constantly. Okay. So they're saying that systemic racism isn't real. Within their heart, they really believe that. Why? Because they're not living in a position where it affects them. They are the ones that is the oppressor in the whole situation. You understand what I'm saying? So what they're trying to tell the oppressed is that your oppression isn't real. The historic oppression isn't real. I mean, none of that. There's no such thing as that. When the whole system is built. See, systemic racism proves America is a racist country. What else are they saying? They're saying, well, we don't want white children taught that they're oppressors and that it's something bad about them. Let me tell you something. You maintain the system, okay? Let's go back when people say, we talk about reparations, slavery, etc. You have some of them will say, I never owned a slave. I didn't beat anybody. I didn't lynch anybody. I didn't set up Jim Crow laws. You're right. You sure right. You didn't do any of that. But you know what? Since you know about it, you're worse than them that did it. Now you may say, well, why are you saying they're worse than them that did it? You know what they did. You know everything. And yet you continue a system that was built off of slavery, Jim Crow, murder, rape, sodomy, theft, destruction of property. I can go on and on and on and on and on, right? Capital murder. We can keep going on and on and on. You maintain a system that was built off of that. You acknowledge that you had nothing to do with everything in the past that happened to lead up to this day. And you still maintain the system that was built off of that to benefit you. So you are just as worse. Matter of fact, you're worse than they are. And that's why it makes a great case for reparations, because you know the system that you live in. You know the advantage that you have built off of African slavery. You know about the wealth gap. You know everything. Let me tell you something. The worst thing a black person can do is talking about, well, the Sharon Osbourne, teach me, teach me. You don't have to teach them anything. How are you going to teach the creators of white supremacy? You teaching from a victim standpoint. They already know about that. You ain't teaching anything they don't know. But to say that I had nothing to do with it, oh, no, 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 no. The blood of our ancestors is on your hands in 2021 because you maintaining the system. Still to this day that was built. You know this system is built off of inequality. You know that. So yes, as long as you want to maintain your privilege, the blood of our ancestors, the blood of people today like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the blood of Trayvon Martin, because yes, that system killed him too. No, George Zimmerman wasn't a cop, but it's the same system that killed him too, that allowed a George Zimmerman to show up and get away with something like that. Sandra Bland's blood, all the blood of the people that have died, Oscar Grant, you could name them, okay? Their blood is on your hands because you maintain the system that keeps it going. You allow your politicians to keep the system going, don't want to end qualified immunity and all of that, right? It's your politicians that you send to Washington to do that, to continue the system because you want this system to keep going. So the blood of our ancestors is on your hands and the judgment of the Lord is on your head, and it's on your head now. Let me tell you something. Believe me if you don't want to, you like to talk about third world countries, a lot of you. You think you better than so-called third world countries. It's amazing third world problems are starting to visit your doorstep. Notice that? I remember a year ago, Sister Reuter, shout out to her in Liberia, was showing me gas shortages in Liberia. The same thing has happened in America. The exact same thing. The exact video that she sent me was literally on the evening news here in America. Gas shortages, okay? You had people fighting for toilet paper in this country, paper towels. Understand? Talking about meat shortages. Chick-fil-A just released that they have a shortage on sauce because now they only gonna give y'all a packet at a time. You can't ask for 3 and 4 packets of sauce now. They're only giving you one. They're talking about it's a shortage on ketchup, something you've never seen before. And it's gonna get a whole lot worse too. Black folk, you better either you hunker. Well, I'm not gonna tell you hunker down. I'm gonna tell you the Lord is calling you out of here. Now you can sit up here and talk about my ancestors' bones are buried here. Okay, well if it gets to the point you starving to the point of your bones, you're gonna think a little different. I'm telling you that. All that talk you're doing right now, when you don't have no food and you can't get anything like you talking about, and understand you're gonna suffer worse in any condition that happens in this country. You better understand that. You better listen to your brother and get your passport, get your family's passport. You better get one and make you a trip to the motherland just to see how it is and see if you can make some connections with people. And like, I don't want to go to Africa. That's fine. You don't have to go. I'm not telling you what to do. But when you're behind is starving, when you're behind don't have anything, when you don't have lights, listen, some of y'all suffered in that blackout that happened here in Texas. Okay. What if that would happen a lot longer than a few days? What if it happened 2 weeks? What if it happened for a month? A lot of you don't even know how to survive that. Understand? You can't survive that. But you know what? If you had yourself prepared, like I tell you to be prepared for everything, if you had your behind prepared by having a passport for all your family, having money set to the side, having whatever you need to do to prep. And a lot of brothers and sisters are good at prepping. The preppers going to be okay in any condition. If the preppers feel I need to remove myself out of here, then the preppers will be already ready for that too. They got plane ticket money. They got passports. They got whatever they got. And don't tell me you can't do it, because if you got money for weed, if you got money for Hennessy, if you got money for the club and everything else to spend money on, you got money to save to prep yourself for the incoming issues and problems that's on the horizon. You understand? You can say whatever you want to say about me, fine. But Phil's not going to have his family in that condition because I can kind of see the writings on the wall. Understand? So don't ever think that you're so untouchable and your system is so intact that you're not going to suffer, quote unquote, third world problems. Third world problems already visited you. You don't even realize that. Now in schools, you must understand the schools with the Republicans are showing you, okay, which is actually a great thing. This is good. They're showing you that the public school systems and universities are used to indoctrinate all children, not just their children, but all children into racism, white supremacy. And by them fighting not to have systemic racism being taught in school or teaching the true American history in school
It lets you know we depend on the school system. Understand the school system in America is weaponized by the white supremacists to indoctrinate their children further into the real lie. You know, when they talk about Trump, they talk about the big lie about the election thing. No, the real lie is white supremacy. That's the lie. That's the big lie. That one. See, they don't want white children to know their history. Because remember, they say they don't want to be the children to be viewed as an oppressor. Well, that's the American history, and that's a system that you maintain today. Why don't you want people to know the truth about American history? Not making it up. No, notice, they have their mantra isn't they're lying about history. No, they don't want it taught. They say, oh, no, not the 1619 Project and all. No, they don't want their history that their ancestors done. And to this day, they're still continuing. Matter of fact, people like Mitch McConnell, he had two of his great-great-grandfathers that were slave owners. That same Mitch McConnell that tell you that you don't need reparations. Well, I understand why he say that. He come from a line of slave owners. If you do the lineage of just about all them up there, they're all tied to slavery. Because it takes money to get to where they at. Where the money come from? It sure didn't come from hard work and effort. No, African slavery is the one that got you the money. So the deal is, you could pass a law that no classroom can teach systemic racism or talk about white supremacy. You could pass that. The day of you controlling that message is gone. It's gone. This is why you fighting so hard. You can't burn the books anymore. See, Adolf Hitler burned books. You can't burn books because it's all over the internet. People like myself and others in the black media is teaching the truth about your wicked, corrupt, and evil system. And we're teaching the truth of it. We're not lying on you. We don't have to lie. That's the beauty of it. You got to lie. You have to maintain your system through lies. We don't have to do that. We just tell the righteous truth. And in telling the truth about evil is doing the Lord's work. That's all we doing. We doing the Lord's work. The Lord always said to condemn evil, stand on righteousness. And that's what we doing. And you can't stand it because you are in league with the devil. You hold your hands with the devil. And that's how your system is maintained through the devil. It's just that simple. Your whole relationship with black folks has been killed, steal, and destroyed. Your whole relationship. And that's the essence of the devil. And not just with black folks, but other people throughout the world is suffering because of your system. They're suffering. But what's happening is, and you don't see it, I'm not going to explain what's happening to you because I don't want to really go through that route here. There's no reason to. You'll see it on your own. But I'm telling you, you don't realize how much in the clutches you are. And that's why I'm telling black folks, stop mimicking that system. Stop trying to be like them. Stop trying to look for their validation, lest their judgment fall upon you too, because you go get caught up in it because you want to be just like them. So it's like this. Okay, you want to be like them. The Lord said, I'm going to get you too. Remove yourself from that. Separate yourself from that wicked and evil system. Separate yourself. No matter who you are, separate yourself from that. Stand on the side of righteousness. Now, there's even some white folks that say, hey, I don't want to be a part of that. I know that's wrong. And I kind of see what's coming down the pipe. So let me be on the right side of what's right in front of God, history, etc. I don't want to be a part of that. And that's a good thing that y'all feel that way because you see the writings on the wall too. Now, the majority of your brethren don't, but you do. So you will be okay. But the rest of them, you know, it is what it is. So no, senators, congressmen, governors, mayors, you could take it out of school all day long. It's not going to stop being taught. More people in classrooms will come watch our program than sitting up there watching and listening to your teacher. You understand that? Our program goes throughout the whole world. You can't stop that. You can't stop it. Even if you try to stop me, which they have tried to stop me, I got a website. It ain't nothing for me to say, okay, this particular post, because I want everybody to see this one, I can just make it where everybody can see it. I can do that. So are you really stopping somebody? That's why I have my own website. So I can say whatever I need to say without any kind of censorship. So no, you're not going to stop the teaching of how evil systemic racism is, how evil white supremacy is. You're not going to stop that no time soon. So you might as well just stop wasting your time making bills, because you literally, what they say, pissing in the wind. But let me know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, they are futile attempts to try to stop the truth. You're not stopping the truth. The truth is going to be shouted from the rooftops. All your dirt is being uncovered all the time. It's because it's a time of exposure, judgment, and we always doing the Lord's work over here.
Hey brothers, I want to tell you about a website called blackmenszone.com. Now, Black Men's Zone is a site that specifically targets black men. It's a place where black men talk about issues that solely affect them. Now, at Black Men's Zone, the topics will range from news to society, sports, technology, business, food and recipes. Some brothers got to cook too. Gaming, and some of your brothers like doing some of that. Health and fitness, got to get your workout on. Music, movies, and many other topics. Now, there's not many forums around these days for black men, and because black men have to create them. Now, this particular website is more of a forum based, something simple, not social media. You can write what you need to write, say what you need to say, get on, get off pretty quick. But if you're interested, brothers, to at least go there, and I want you to check it out, engage in the topics, go to blackmenszone.com, sign up for an account, and get engaged in the conversation.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.